video is about illustrating and simplifying rational algebraic expressions. Before we proceed, we must understand what rational algebraic expressions mean. What is a rational algebraic expression? First, let's have the meaning of rational. A rational number is a ratio of two real numbers. A ratio is a comparison or quotient of two quantities. Then, let's have algebraic expression. An algebraic expression is composed of a term or group of terms which consists of constants and variables. The terms are separated by plus or minus signs. Therefore, a rational algebraic expression is the ratio or quotient of two algebraic expressions where both the numerator and denominator are polynomials. In short, it is expressed as P over Q, where P is the numerator, Q is the denominator, and Q is not equal to 0. So, ibig sabihin lang, ang rational algebraic expression ay may numerator and denominator. Tapos, yung denominator ay hindi equal to 0 dahil undefined ang fraction na ang denominator ay 0. So, para mas maging simple pa, ito naman yung checklist natin for rational algebraic expression. First, it has a numerator and a denominator. Meron siyang numerator and denominator. Second, the numerator is a polynomial. Dapat polynomial yung numerator. Third, the denominator is a polynomial. Polynomial din yung denominator at ulit, ito ay hindi dapat equal to 0. Yung una, madali lang maintindihan. Numerator and denominator lang, syempre, kayang-kaya nyo yan, di ba? Pero ito, polynomial daw si numerator at polynomial daw si denominator. Paano natin malalaman kung polynomial si numerator at polynomial si denominator? Ito naman yung checklist natin for polynomials. First, no negative exponent for variables. So, dapat positive yung exponents ng terms sa isang polynomial. So, tingnan natin. Here's an example of a polynomial. And here's an example of a non-polynomial. This is not a polynomial because of the exponent of x, which is negative 3. Pero mamaya, pag rational algebraic expression na yung pinag-uusapan natin, pag nakakita tayo ng may negative exponent sa numerator or denominator, may paraan doon para maging positive siya. Kaya nako-consider pa rin na rational algebraic expression yun kahit may negative exponent. For example, in this expression, we have a negative 3 exponent for x. We will just change it to 1 over x cubed. Kaya naging 5 over x cubed plus 4. Next, no fractional exponent for variables. So here's another example of a non-polynomial. Fractional yung exponent ni x. Next, no variable inside a radical sign. So ito yung example nito. It has a radical sign kasi merong square root. O sige nga, check na natin kung alam mo na yung polynomials and non-polynomials. Try mong sagutan isa-isa yung mga tanong dito. Tapos mamaya, re-reveal ko yung answers. Tapos check mo kung tama yung sagot mo. Susulat mo lang yung P kung polynomial at susulat mo yung not kung hindi. Game? Yan. Yan yung given. So, ready na. here are the answers. For the first batch, ang hindi lang polynomial ay ang 3xy raised to negative 2 kasi negative yung exponent ng y at ang 6 square root of x kasi may radical sign. Yung 5 rin po, ma'am, polynomial? Yes, one term kasi siya and constant yung tawag sa kanya. Polynomial pa rin yun. So next, second batch of answers. Makikita natin yung 6a raised to 1/3 ay hindi polynomial because of the fractional exponent of the variable. 3a raised to x ay hindi rin polynomial dahil yun yung variable ay exponent. So, ma'am, ba't po polynomial yung x square root of 2 ay may radical sign po? Ang bawal lang kasi na mapunta sa loob ng radical sign ay yung variable. Kaya, polynomial pa rin yung x square root of 2. Kumusta? Nakailang tamang sagot ka? Comment mo kung ilan nakuha mo, ha? And because you already have an idea of what polynomials are, you are now ready to determine if a given algebraic expression is rational or not. So, ano ulit yung mga dapat nating tandaan kung rational algebraic expression siya? Dapat may numerator and denominator, at both numerator and denominator are polynomials. So, babawi ka ba rito? Rational algebraic expression or not? Kung rational algebraic expression yan, susulat mo RAE. Kung hindi naman rational algebraic expression, susulat mo not. So, 1 minute ulit ang ibibigay ko sa'yo. So, yan yung given. Okay? Let's go! Let us check your answers. For 6 over x minus 1, rational algebraic expression siya since may numerator and may denominator and both are polynomials. Si x minus 1, RAE pa rin. Why? Where's the denominator? Remember that this has 1 as denominator. It's just that it has already been divided by 1. That's why it's just x minus 1 kapag sinusulat. So the numerator is x minus 1 and the denominator is 1. How about this? Siyempre, RAE pa rin yan. Kasi, again, may numerator siya na x squared plus x minus 3 and denominator niya ay 1. Next, 1 over x raised to negative 5. RAE, kasi nga di ba nabanggit ko kanina, kahit may negative exponent sa rational algebraic expression, pwede siya. Kasi nagagawan siya ng way, nire-reciprocal siya. Kaya dyan, naging x to the 5th siya. Positive na yung exponent. Next, 1 over x minus 5. Rational algebraic expression pa rin siya. 2 over 3x, RAE pa rin. 1 over square root of x, not, kasi meron ngang square root sign or radical sign. And how about 4x minus 1 all over x squared minus 5? That is RAE. So, naunawaan niyo na ba kung ano ang rational algebraic expression? Sana. Let us look at this statement. Sabi dyan, illustrate a rational expression whose numerator is m and the denominator is n. So, magpipresent daw tayo ng rational expression na yun yung numerator at denominator. Very easy. So, yan yung ating rational expression. Ang numerator ay m, ang denominator ay n, and n should not be equal to 0. Next, given the expressions x plus 15 and 3x, illustrate a rational algebraic expression whose value of x is not 0. So here, ganun din yung gagawin natin, rational expression pa rin, pero ang pagkakaiba, walang sinabi kung alin ang numerator at kung alin ang denominator. So dalawa yung illustrations natin. Ito yung una, x plus 15 over 3x. Si x plus 15, siya yung ating numerator, at si 3x si denominator. Please note that x here should not be equal to 0 because the denominator 3x will become 3 times 0 and that will be equal to 0. Eh di ba nga bawal ng 0 yung denominator. So next naman natin na illustration ng rational algebraic expression for that given ay yung 3x over the binomial x plus 15. Here, ang x naman dyan should not be negative 15 because the denominator x plus 15 will become negative 15 plus 15. Magiging 0 na naman, so hindi pwede. Now, let us simplify rational algebraic expressions. Here are the skills that you need to be successful in simplifying rational algebraic expressions. Factoring polynomials. Ang unang-una dyan. Dapat talaga inaral yung mabuti kasi hanggang grade 9 magagamit nyo yan. Tapos hanggang grade 10, hanggang college ka pa, nandun pa rin yan. Next, finding the GCF. Napag-aralan na natin yan at naku, gamit na gamit talaga yan sa simplifying rational algebraic expressions. And last is the laws of exponents. Ito rin, napakakagamit-gamit talaga nito. So mamayang part ng discussion natin, makikita nyo yung laws of exponents. So try na natin mag-simplify. The first given is simplify x raised to the 5th power over x cubed. This is just monomial over monomial. And remember, the fractional bar in a rational expression also means division. So we will divide x raised to the 5th power by x cubed. So sa law of exponents, kapag daw pareho yung base ng exponential expression na pinag-divide nyo, you just copy the base and then subtract the exponents. So 5 minus 3 is 2. That's why the simplified form of that given is x squared. Next given naman tayo. Simplify ab squared over ab. So kapareho ito nung una nating given, monomial by monomial. So it just means that we will divide ab squared by ab. Same variables lang yung di-divide natin. So a divided by a is equal to 1 since any number divided by itself is 1. Next, using the law of exponents again, law of quotients, b squared divided by b will become b raised to 2 minus 1. So b squared divided by b is equal to b. Now let's multiply the answer in a divided by a and b squared divided by b. So 1 times b is equal to b. And that's the simplified form of our given. Now let's look at the next given. Simplify 16x squared y raised to the 15th power over 48x raised to the 8th power y squared. Let us factor the numerator and denominator by finding the greatest common monomial factor. Let us start with the GCF of 16 and 48. So for the first video that we have made, ang pinakita ko sa inyo na method in factoring ay listing method. Pero dito, papakita natin kung paano makuha ang GCF ng constants, lalo na kung malaki yung value. So we will use a grid. Let us place 16 and 48 on top of the grid. Then think of a number where you can divide 16 and 48. So saan pwedeng ma-divide si 16 and 48? Marami kayong pwedeng ma-divide dyan. Pero karaniwan, ano yung unang naiisip natin? 2. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. And 48 divided by 2 is 24. Now, 8 at 24 naman ang hahanapan natin ng pwedeng ma-divide. Pwede itong ma-divide sa 4, pwede rin sa 2. Para-pareho lang naman tayo ng magiging sagot. Basta tama yung pag-divide ha. So, 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2. And 24 divided by 4 is 6. Next, 2 and 6 naman. Saan natin pwedeng ma-divide ang 2 and 6? Sa 2. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. Meron pa bang pwedeng ma-divide pareho ang 1 and 3? Except sa 1? Kapag sa 1 na lang sila pwedeng ma-divide, multiply natin lahat ng numbers at the left. So, 2 times 4 times 2. The GCF is 16. So, numerical coefficient pa lang yon. Now, let's have the GCF of x squared y raised to the 15th power and x to the 8th y squared. To find the GCF, let's answer the question, what common variables do you see? So, pareho silang may variable na x. Uy, pareho may x. And then, pareho din silang may y. So, for x variable naman, compare natin yung exponents. Ang mas mababang exponent ay 2. So, yung nilalagay natin exponent sa GCF. Then, for y, ang nilalagay naman natin exponent ay 2 rin. Kasi yun ang mas mababa. So, our GCF for the variable part is x squared y squared. So, yung ating GCF for the whole rational expression given to us is 16x squared y squared. Now, magpa-factor na tayo. Let us factor the numerator with the GCF 16x squared y squared. We will also do that to the denominator. Let us divide the numerator by the GCF, starting with 16 divided by 16, that's equal to 1. Then we will have x squared divided by x squared is equal to 1. Then y to the 15th power divided by y squared is equal to y raised to 15 minus 2, and that is equal to y raised to 13 power. Multiplying all the answers, that's 1 times 1 times y to the 13th power. So we will write y raised to the 13th power here. Next, divide the denominator by the GCF by starting with 48 divided by 16. 48 divided by 16 is equal to 3. Then x raised to the 8th power divided by x squared is equal to x raised to the 8th minus 2. So that's x raised to 6th. Then y squared divided by y squared is equal to 1. So multiplying them, the other factor is 3x raised to the 6th power. For the simplified form, we will divide the GCF by itself, and that will be equal to 1. So the expression will become 1 times the fraction y raised to the 13th power over 3x to the 6th. Therefore, the simplest form of the given rational expression is y raised to the 13th power all over 3x to the 6th power. For the next item, let us simplify the square of the binomial x plus 5 all over the trinomial x squared plus 7x plus 10. Factor the numerator and the denominator. The square of the binomial x plus 5 is also equal to the product of the quantity x plus 5 and the quantity x plus 5. Then, x squared plus 7x plus 10 is a general trinomial where a is equal to 1. So let us represent this as the product of the quantity x plus 5, x plus 2. Since 5 times 2 is 10 and 5 plus 2 is 7. So the quantity x plus 5 divided by the quantity x plus 5 is equal to 1. So the expression became 1 times the quotient of the quantity x plus 5 and the quantity x plus 2. Therefore, the simplified form is quantity x plus 5 all over the quantity x plus 2. Next, x squared minus 9 all over x plus 3. X squared minus 9 is a special case. So what special factoring is this? This is difference of two squares. Because x squared is a perfect square and 9 is a perfect square. And it has the subtraction sign. So the factors of x squared minus 9 are the quantity x plus 3 and the quantity x minus 3. How did we do that? We got the square root of the first term, we got the square root of the second term, and we placed the plus minus sign. Then let's copy the denominator. We can divide x plus 3 by x plus 3. That is equal to 1. So the expression will now become 1 multiplied by x minus 3. Therefore, the simplest form of the rational expression given to us is x minus 3. Second to the last given, x squared plus 3x minus 4 all over x cubed minus 1. Let us factor the numerator and the denominator. The numerator is a general trinomial where a is equal to 1. So the factors of negative 4 that sum up to 3 are positive 4 and negative 1. So we have the quantity x plus 4 times the quantity x minus 1 for the numerator. Then, look at the denominator. What factoring type is this? This is difference of two cubes. So we have a smaller quantity and a bigger quantity. For the smaller quantity, find the cube root of x cubed, that is x, and the cube root of 1, that is 1. Then we copy the sign, that's why we have x minus 1. Then square the first term, multiply the first and the second term, and square the last term. Then just ensure that the sign of the middle term is opposite the sign of the binomial. So we can divide x minus 1 by x minus 1. That will give us 1. So natira na lang sa taas ay x plus 4. At ang natira sa baba ay x squared plus x plus 1. The denominator is not factorable anymore. So the final answer is x plus 4 all over x squared plus x plus 1. For our last given, 4x squared minus 8x plus 12 all over x minus 3. So again, factor out the numerator and the denominator. Look at the numerator. The terms have the greatest common monomial factor. They can all be divided by 4. So let us place 4 outside the parentheses and divide each term of the original polynomial by 4. So here's the answer, x squared minus 2x plus 3. Then let's copy the denominator since it's not factorable anymore. Now, kung itatry nating i-factor yung trinomial na x squared minus 2x plus 3, ang factors lang ng positive 3 ay positive 3 and positive 1 and negative 3 and negative 1. None of this can be equal to negative 2. So meaning, non-factorable din siya. Kahit nakuha naman natin yung GCF na 4, wala pa rin nangyari doon sa trinomial. Hindi pa rin siya factorable. So hindi na natin babaguhin yung original expression. Ganyan na siya. Given is already in simplest form. Panibagong video na naman ang natapos natin. So, thank you sa pagsisikap niyong matapos na mapanood ang video na to. God bless sa inyong pag-aaral. Hashtag walang susuko, ha? Sige, hanggang sa muli. Bye!